Good afternoon, and thank you for joining us. For today, we will be talking about the Multifamily Energy Efficiency Retrofit Program. Joining me today is Bryan Harder, the SoCalREN Outreach Manager.
Hi, Samantha. Thanks for having me. So today we're going to be talking about the Multifamily Energy Efficiency Retrofit Program. The Multifamily Program is here to support communities throughout the SoCalREN service territory, which is a combination of Southern California Edison and SoCalGas. And really the goal of any of these retrofit programs is to reduce energy, reduce greenhouse gas emissions, provide a more comfortable, safer living environment, and just overall improve the property. SoCalREN program derives its incentives through two different pathways. One of them is a whole building pathway, and the other is a common area pathway. Whole building is going to be more of your in-unit work. So think about a more comprehensive in-unit and common area retrofit, where your common area is just going to be things that the tenants use collectively. The parameters for the program or eligibility requirements for the program are on the whole building side. We need to have the property needs to participate in 3 measures. And on the common area side, the property only has to participate in 2. The way that incentives are structured, or the way that incentives are calculated for the SoCalREN multifamily program, is through what we call disadvantaged communities and non-disadvantaged communities. And then there's a rate associated with the amount of savings generated from what your existing equipment is to the proposed systems. So an example of this would be, a property that is in DAC community would be eligible for a rate of 57 cents per kWh saved, kilowatt hour saved, and $6 per therm saved. So, and then a non-DAC community or a non-DAC property would be eligible for 33 cents per kWh saved and $3.50 per therm saved. And the calculations that I'm talking about stem from a property audit. So a contractor would come out to the property, or a lead. They would take pictures and they'd evaluate all of the equipment that's on site. They would come up with a proposed system or proposed equipment to upgrade at the property. And then our engineering department takes that information, comes up with a calculation, multiplies it by the rate, and says, here's what your property would be eligible for. We do have a couple caps, depending on if it's a DAC property or a non-DAC. If it's a DAC property, the program will incentivize up to 75% of the project cost. And if it's a non-DAC, the program will incentivize up to 60% of the program. So that's a little bit about how the incentives are calculated in this program. There's lots of different measures that are eligible, and I'm happy to share that with Samantha and be able to distribute, to anyone who is interested. But we wanted to share with you a sample case study of a small property that we did down in Redlands. It was owned by Crystal Asset Management. You can see some of the statistics of the property here. There's 52 units on site. It's 7 two-story buildings, roughly 36,000 square feet, and it was built in 1979. So some of the upgraded measures that we did on this property were in-unit lighting and common area lighting, low-flow shower heads and aerators, insulation on the domestic hot water, added recirculation pumps, controls, and programmable pool and spa pool pumps and spa pumps. So the upgrades at a glance, as you can see on the top right, this building, or this property, I should say, came in with about 13 or about 14% savings, which was equivalent to about 24,583 kilowatt hours and 1,658 therms. The project cost to do these upgrades was roughly $9,000, and the SoCalREN rebate, because this wasn't a DAC area, was able to cover $6,579. So the final copay or cost for the customer for this particular project was only $2,193.15. And they got all of this equipment with an estimated savings of roughly 25,000 kWh. So another portion or another part of the SoCalREN Multifamily Energy Efficiency Program I wanted to talk about was this hard to reach bonus program that we incorporated this year. It's currently in its pilot stage, but the goal of this particular program is to really service communities that have historically low participation rates. So we've been the implementer for this program on SoCalREN for the last 3 years. And one of the things that we've noticed is that we have a high population, or a lot of our projects are coming from LA County, from Orange County, even San Bernardino and Riverside. But we struggle in some of the other markets on the outskirts of SoCalREN territory. So the idea behind the hard to reach bonus program is, we want to target properties that are under 100 units. It doesn't matter if they're DAC or non-DAC. They just need to be located in these specific geographic counties. And I think it's really small on the flyer there on the picture on the screen, but it does list the counties out. If you would like a list of those, I'm happy to provide that for Samantha and for you guys as well. And some of the advantages to working in these communities and servicing these properties, what we want to do is we want to offer you additional incentives to do that work. So some of the benefits of this program is we're offering mileage reimbursement. We're offering hotel reimbursement for you to go do the audit. We're offering $1,500 towards the cost of performing the audit. So think like, we can give you up to 100 miles reimbursed. We can do a night at a hotel. We can give you $1,500 towards the cost of the audit, as long as the property moves forward in the program, right? The flip side of this is if you go and do this, you target some customers and not everyone does it, then unfortunately, the bonus is not applicable to you. But as long as the property moves forward, these can be all additional benefits that are added to you, to the incentive amount that you would get for performing this work. In addition to the things that I mentioned from before, we also have savings tier bonuses. So this is to encourage deeper retrofits, right? More savings at those properties. And the more savings you do, you can bump up to an additional $5,000 bonus on each side, both for the KWH savings and potentially for the therm savings. And those are tiered. I think it's 5,000, 2,500, and 1,000, depending on what there is, what the levels are. And then lastly, we are running a contest this year in 2023 for the highest KWH and therms contributor to participate in the hard to reach bonus program or pilot program. So that contractor is going to earn an additional $3,000 on top of the bonuses that they've received throughout their program. So hopefully, I've given you a sample overview of our program. Hopefully you have an idea of what we do, the service territory that we cover, how we generate our savings and calculate the incentive amounts. You've seen a case study for, a smaller property. I've told you about the bonus, the hard to reach bonus program, the pilot program. And now you might be thinking, how do I get involved? So getting a start of a SoCalREN is really easy. We try to make that as easy as possible for our contractors, so that you guys can be the catalyst for the program and use it as a tool to sell. The first thing that we would need is just signing a contractor participation agreement. That's basically, saying that you're going to adhere to, to the program rules, right? That you're going to represent SoCalREN, SCE, and SoCalGas to the best of your ability. You need to show us a copy of your current valid CSLB license and a couple insurance documentations, and then register on our our Trade Ally portal, which allows us to communicate and share documents about the different jobs. So if you'd like more information on that, I'm happy to provide that once again to Samantha, we can get that over to you if you're interested. And I appreciate you having me on today and allowing me to talk about SoCalREN and the exciting rebates that we have to offer for contractors.
Thank you so much, Bryan. We really appreciate you coming on today and sharing this information when it comes to some of our smaller properties that have project opportunities, as well as the opportunities that lie for our contractors in our local territory.